Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Global Solidarity Community Podcast. I am Joy De. Namaste, hello, namaskar, guten tag from people from all over the world. After all, this is Global Solidarity Community. This community emerged in response to a tragic and deeply disturbing murder that happened at Arjikar Medical College and hospitals in Kolkata. What began as a collective expression of grief and outrage, and specifically a demand for justice, has since evolved into something much larger, a worldwide community of healthcare professionals, educators, advocates, and concerned citizens committed to justice, dignity, and safer workplaces. Today, I'm delighted to welcome Rajashri Iman, who joins us from Kampala, Uganda. Although we live in different parts of the world, the GSC has brought people united by shared values and a desire to create positive change. I had the pleasure of meeting Rajashri in person a few weeks ago during my visit to Uganda. Over coffee and cake at one of her favorite local cafes, I had the opportunity to get to know her beyond our online interactions. What I discovered was someone deeply committed not only to social justice but also to education, personal growth, and meditation. Rajashri has spent more than 3 decades as an educator and recently took on the responsibility of Secretary of the Global Solidarity Community. Thank you for that, Rajashri. She generously volunteers her time and energy in service of our collective mission. Today's conversation is inspired by an article she has written for the upcoming edition, The Chronicles of the GSC, titled Where the Mind is Without Fear, the Healing Power of Meditation in Times of Crisis. Rajashri, welcome to
Yes,
the.
thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. And I also thank the GSC team for inviting me to the podcast and thinking about me and making this podcast a very relevant one for everybody to listen to the reflections of what each one has to say.
Of course, of course. I recently read your article, and what struck me most was how personal it felt, right? It wasn't simply an article about meditation, it was really about your own journey with fear, resilience, leadership, and inner transformation. I would love to explore some of these experiences with you today. So, your article begins with Tagore's famous lines, where the mind is without fear. What does that phrase mean to you today?
Thank you. Where the mind is without fear does not mean that you are not having any fear. You live with a fear, but the fear does not control you. And I want to share this through an example, a personal example of my mother. She was teaching in a school and she had some kind of altercation with the school head who wanted to, who questioned her, asking her educational philosophy, what she had, what knowledge she had about educational philosophy, and how much she knew about running a school. So she had been challenged a lot, and she had been working in that school for quite a long time. So she didn't say anything. She just thought for a moment, and then she gave her resignation. She just gave her resignation and she came back home. Within a week, she just started her own school with just one student, not thinking about any consequences, but she was very calm and composed. She knew what she was doing, though she had the fear. She knew that what is going to happen, she doesn't know. But she took up the challenge and she said to herself that I am going to show what students mean to me. How strong she needs to be to say that. That how can I look after the students, whether education, books are the main thing. For her, it was never books. Education doesn't mean that you need to teach a child books. It was how a child should be treated, nurtured, and understood. That was her main intention. That I must understand the child. Based on understanding the child, I can always go ahead in teaching the child what her learning or the child's learning experiences can be done through her understanding. So that was main importance to her. And that's how that inner state of her calmness, her strength was her calmness. Her strength was her compassionate. And I think I developed seeing her that too.
I
And
now,
that,
yeah, I see where you get some of your characteristics from, Rajeshri. That is so inspiring to hear. Now, you had shared with me your own journey of being fearful of even things like public speaking, and where that has now brought you to a place that you are so actively engaging in international communities. Could you walk us through the journey you went through and what helped you?
yeah, sure. I would definitely say that I was very nervous, and always I am. Even now, I will say I'm nervous. Not in a negative way, but nervous in a positive way. That I know that I can overcome my fear. I need not surrender to the fear, but I can overcome my fear. And that can be done only when you are calm. And that calmness was brought into me through I had actually attended one art of living course through where when my friend had asked me that those days it was free when I had attended. So through that I when I attended art of living course, and it was a live course. It was not online. You had to go in to the particular place and attend the course. It was a 3-day course, and they have taught us over there the meditation. And when I not taught us, I won't say they taught us meditation. They showed how one can be calm, how one can feel that their own strength can lead the way instead of moving away from the situation. So that helped me a lot, and I have then got into meditation, making myself stronger. And one thing I always do, even now I did. I think you have not, none of you all have seen it, but I was calm. I had taken few breaths. I had taken a few breaths of making myself calm. So that I know the technique of making myself calm in situations. And also one more thing I do is I clutch my fingers. So that also helps me to actually make myself feel strong. So when I clutch my hands and sit, or I hold my fists, hold my fingers into making a fist, that also makes me fearless, I should say. So these kind of techniques have helped me to fight back the fear in a positive.
You had also mentioned to me, Rajeshri, that these techniques that you apply to yourself and you're so generously sharing with us, you mentioned about your mother. Uh, your mother had a pivotal role in exposing you to some meditative techniques from an early age also. Would you share some of those experiences with us, please?
Sure, sure. I used to see my mother doing a lot of prayers, puja, real puja. She used to sit for hours. Hours means hours. It can be even 24 hours. So that kind of puja she used to do. I would like to share one incident about my own self when I was into the delivery room, and I was very scared and nervous, first time going into the situation. So she just told me, "Don't worry, this is normal." And she started reading Sundar and Hanuman Chalisa for me and made me feel strong. And then after that, the next day, after the delivery, my situation was very critical, wherein my placenta was totally dry. And She and I had gone into unconsciousness, but she was such a strong lady, I should say. She had my placenta was such a dry thing that she just said nothing will happen, and she went on reading the Sundar Kanda and Hanuman Chalisa that whole night. She read, and then she made me feel. The next day when I woke up, I saw her smiling, and she said, "You're fine. Nothing happened to you. You're fine." And then she told me there was a flame, she lit that flame. She kept the flame in front of her. She lit the lamp, Pradeep, in fact, you can say the lamp. And she looked into the lamp and she asked me, if you have strength, you just look into that lamp. Then I just looked into the lamp and I could feel, the positive vibe, the light going into me. And she told me, you just stare. Don't do anything, but just stare. Even if nothing comes into your mind, you forget, but stare at the lamp. And I was staring at the lamp and I could feel the positiveness of the light going within me, inside my body. So that feeling, I even do it every day when I do my prayer. I do it every day. I look into the lamp and I feel that some positive light is going into me. She also always used to pray the sun. So these are the olden days, they all use pouring water to the sun and saying thank you sunlight. But looking into the sunlight, you feel that positiveness coming into you. So this was the thing, that if you can't look into the sunlight, at least you look at the lamp. So that's how I
what you just described, being from a medical background, I can tell that it is a life-threatening situation for the mother as well as the child, and handling that with meditative techniques brought you out of that is an inspiring story. Now, in your article, you write about the fact that meditation, which is such an individual thing, doesn't really stay contained in the individual. There is this effect where what you are doing for inner transformation also spreads out in the community and hopefully even larger circles of influence. Would you comment and elaborate a little bit about that thought of yours?
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. We are dealing, when we are in the educational field, we are dealing with students, children, who come at a very at young age, and we nurture them and we train them, and that's how they grow up to become more confident, and they face the situation. So we need to help them to transform their qualities into positive ways, where they can fight the situations on their own. So that is what we need to do as teachers or as trainers or as facilitators. So again, I would like to bring in my mother here, seeing her doing it to her students and doing it to me. I also have learned it I have taught my also children the same thing. And when my children do it, I feel every child can do it in the world. So that's how I brought into the education field also, where I thought that teaching meditation doesn't mean that teaching them sitting on something with on the floor and closing your eyes and trying to concentrate. That is not meditation. It's very difficult to do that. You tell yourself, I love myself. You tell yourself that I care about myself. You tell yourself, I'm kind. I take care of everything in this world. My mother used to always thank the beautiful world. I thank the greenery around. She used to go look at the greenery, and she said, thank you for this wonderful world. And I also learned that, thank you for this. Every morning I do that. I get up, I look outside the world, thank you God for this wonderful world. And that's what I taught my children. I taught the students also the same thing. Say, thank you God that I am alive. Thank you God that you gave me this beautiful world. Thank you for the comfort in this house that I get.
That is such a great example of gratitude meditation, Rajeshri. I am so glad that we got a glimpse of your inner practices and how you are slowly but surely influencing larger spheres through your students, through people that you are associated with, even this community. As you are being part of that, your positiveness and your calmness is truly something that spreads and touches us all. Now, one of the things, Rajeshri, I appreciate about your article is that it doesn't simply talk about meditation, it encourages people to experience it directly. Before we conclude, could you be willing to guide our listeners through maybe a short meditation experience?
Sure. I'll happily be do it because I love doing meditation. So, first of all, thank you so much. And I would like all of you all who are listening to me and you also to sit straight with your spine body straight. If you would like to close your eyes, you can close your eyes. If you want to open your eyes, keep your eyes open. You can keep your eyes open. And just sit with any thought coming into your mind. Don't stop it. Let it come into your mind. Take a long breath. Breathe in as much as you can. Breathe in. Take in that air with all positivity. And at the count of 6, breathe out slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Once again, breathe in. Take in more of that air. Breathe in. Oxygen is just free. And breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. One last time. Let's breathe in. Long breath. And so relax. Now let's just imagine ourselves in this beautiful world where you are walking through the forest, and when you're walking through the forest, you put your footsteps as you walk. You can hear the sound of the dry leaves. You can hear the sound of the birds chirping around, different sounds. And you're smiling. Keep your smile longer and longer, bigger. Make your lips wide, listening to the sound. And somewhere you can see a light peeping in from between the trees, the leaves of the tree, the branches. And it is leading you the way. You're following the light. And when the light is becoming brighter and brighter, your smile is also getting bigger and bigger. And you feel so happy. You can feel the light within you, passing it through your whole head, the body, the chest, the hands, legs, and your feet. And you're grounded. You feel strong, happy. And you say to yourself, I am lucky, I am happy, I am the strongest person in this world. I have fear, but I can overcome. Just be calm. Take a few breaths. Rub your palm. Rub it a little stronger, a little more, faster, so that you feel the warmth of the palm. Put it on your eyes. Feel the warmth. Open your eyes and blink your eyes within the palm. Rub your face with the palm. Feel that warmth. Tap your neck at the back. Tap your head, on your forehead, your face, and you open your eyes. Thank you.
Wow, that was so calming. Thank you so much, Rajeshri. I enjoyed the experience. Thank you for sharing. I hope everyone who has joined in was able to join in for this brief meditation. Um, That was a great interview. Thank you for this conversation. Your article raises a profound question, Rajeshri. If we wish to create a world that is less fearful, less divided, and more compassionate, where do we begin? The message I took away from your writing and this conversation is that meaningful change begins within each one of us. Thank you for sharing your experiences, your insight, and your wisdom with us today. And thank you all, you listeners, for joining us in this inaugural episode of the Global Solidarity Community. I hope to see you again in our future podcast, and I hope that we all get the chronicle that was going to come out in August of this year. In today's conversation resonate with you, please share it with others who may benefit from it. Thank you so much, Rajeshri. Thank you, Global Solidarity Community, for providing us this platform. And we will see you again in another platform soon.
Thank you. Thank you for having me and sharing my reflections. Thank you so much to the team also and to you, Joy.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.